Welcome to the review session of Bhopal Search Career Point. This is student for the student of class 11 in the name of practice series for internal examination as per modified question pattern according to CHSC Odisha on the chapter atomic structure. Let us come for the pattern of examination. Here the full mark is 20 and mark duration is 45 minutes. How to manage the time? Let us know the time distribution. Question paper reading and understanding 5 minutes, group A ପାଇଁ 7.5 minutes, group B ପାଇଁ 8 minute, group C ପାଇଁ 12 minute ଏବଂ group D ପାଇଁ 12.5 minutes. ଏଇଭଳି ଟୋଟାଲ 45 minutes କୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ appropriately distribute କରିପାରିବୁ ଠିକ୍ ସମୟରେ ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନର ଉତ୍ତର ଦେବାକୁ ସକ୍ଷମ ହେବୁ. Let us go to the group E of this question pattern. Here all the questions are compulsory, covering only the multiple choice questions. Each question requires not more than 5 minutes to write the answer. समुदाय 5टी प्रश्न को 7.5 minutes भितर हमको आंसर लिखा पड़े. Let's come for the first question. What is the capacity of d orbital in an atom? Option A 2, option B 6, option C 10, option D 14. Which is the answer? Capacity of d orbital in an atom. गोटे एटम रे गोटे सेल भितर सबसेल गुड़िक था सी सबसेल ऑर्बिटल गुड़िक भितर आम 4टी सबसेल ऑर्बिटल कथा पढ़ी था. एस सबसेल जार कैपेसिटी होची अकॉर्डिंग टू फॉरेल प्लस 2 रूल 2. डी सबसेल अकॉर्डिंग टू फॉरेल प्लस 2 रूल इट इज 6 and D subcell it is 4 into 2 plus 2 that is 10 and F subcell or F orbital 4 into 3 plus 2 that is 14. जेहेतु ये प्रश्न टी D orbital पाई अच्छी सो आंसर टी 10 है. तेन क्वेश्चन टी को भल भाव स्टडी करने को पड़ो. द कैपेसिटी ऑफ व्हिच ऑर्बिटल इज आस्क्ड. इफ इट इज आस्क्ड फॉर S orbital आंसर इज 2, फॉर P orbital आंसर इज 6, फॉर D orbital आंसर इज 10 and for F orbital answer is 14. Let us come for the next question. Out of the following, which is the mass of a proton? Option A 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Option B 1.672 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Option C 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Option D none of these. Which will be the correct answer? According to the question, which is the mass of the proton? हमें तीनोटी मेजर फंडामेंटल पार्टिकल्स कथा जानिछु. इलेक्ट्रॉन, प्रोटॉन्स, न्यूट्रॉन्स. इलेक्ट्रॉन रो मास होची 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. प्रोटॉन रो मास 1.672 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. और न्यूट्रॉन रो मास है 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. As per the question, it is asked to know the mass of the proton. So the mass of the proton is 1.672 into 10 to the minus 27 kg. That is option B is the correct answer. Now let us come for the next question of this group. Out of the following, which is the fundamental particles of an atom? Option A electrons, option B protons, option C neutrons, option D all of these. Fundamental particles of an atom are the particles from which an atom is made up of. The major fundamental particles are electrons, protons and neutrons. So the answer is option D, all of these. Let us come for the next question. Question number 4. What is the shape of P subcell in a cell of an atom? गोटे एटम रो P subcell रो shape कौन है? Option A spherical, option B dumbbell, option C double dumbbell, option D none of these. Which is the correct answer? Shape of the subcell or orbital कथा कहले S subcell shape which is spherical, P रो dumbbell, D रो double dumbbell, E रो complicated structure supposed to be triple dumbbell. As per the question, it is asked to write down the shape of the P subcell. So the answer is dumbbell. That is shape of the P subcell is dumbbell shape. हमको क्वेश्चन को भल भाव नजर देवाक पड़ो. Whether it is asked for S subcell या P subcell या D subcell or F subcell. Now let us come to the last question of this group. Out of the following, which are isotones? Option A, fluorine 919, neon 1020. Option B, aluminum 1327, neon, sorry, it is bimetrically neon is type. It is silicon 1428. Option C, boron 511 and carbon 612. Option D, all of these. Try to give the correct answer. आम आइसोटोन क्या कहवा स्पेसीज हैविंग सेम नंबर ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन्स आर कॉल्ड आइसोटोन्स. In case of option A, fluorine contains 10 number of neutrons as well as the neon also. In case of option B, aluminum contains 14 electrons and the silicon. Option B रे neon T bimetrically type अच्छे silicon silicon 1428 এটার মধ্যে 14টি নিউট্রন আছে অর্থাৎ অপশন এ বি এক্সাম্পলস অফ আইসোটোন অপশন বি রে দুইটি যাক মধ্যে এক্সাম্পলস অফ আইসোটোনস. In case of option C, boron, it contains 6 neutrons. In case of carbon, it also contains 6 neutrons. So option A, both the pairs are isotones. In case of option B, both the pairs are isotones. In case of option C, both pairs are isotones. So the correct answer is option D, that is all of these. Out of the following, all are the examples of isotones. Welcome to all of you to the group B, which contains 2 marks question. Here 2 short questions to be answered out of 4. Each question requires not more than 4 minutes to write the answer. এইভাবে 4 মার্ক পাই এই সেকশনটিକୁ ଆମକୁ 8 ମିନିଟ୍ ଭିତରେ ଉତ୍ତର ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Let us come for the first question of group B. That is, write down the differences between isotope and isobar. Isotope and isobar ଭିତରେ ଆମେ difference କଥା discussion କରିବା. What are isotopes? These have same atomic number but different mass number. But in case of isobars, these have different atomic numbers but same mass number. In case of isotope, these have same number of protons and electrons but different number of neutrons. But in case of isobars, these have different numbers of electrons as well as protons and neutrons. Other differences are, in case of isotopes, these have same position in the periodic table. But in case of isobar, these have different position in the periodic table. In case of isotopes, these have similar chemical properties but different physical property. But in case of isobars, these have different physical and chemical property. These are the different differences between isotopes and isobar. Let us come for the question number 2 of group B. Explain the dual nature or de Broglie's concept of matter. I mean, dual nature of matter but de Broglie's concept को explain करिबा. Let us know what is dual nature or de Broglie's concept. According to Louis de Broglie, all forms of matter, that is electron, proton, atom, etc., have dual character, that is particle character as well as wave character. These, the wavelength lambda associated with particle having mass m and velocity v is given by the equation lambda is equal to h by mv, where h is the Planck's constant, lambda is wavelength, m is the mass of the particle, v is the velocity of the particle. This equation is called de Broglie's equation. Let us come to the third question of group B. Describe the characteristics of the cathode rays. What are the different characteristics of the cathode rays? They move in straight line, they carry negative charge, they produce heating effect when you strike on the metal foil, as they are particle in nature. These are particle in nature. They cause ionization of the gas through which they pass. They affect the photographic plate. They have penetrating effect. They can pass through thin metal foil. These rays are deflected towards the positively charged plate when pass through the electric field. These are the different characteristics of the cathode rays. Let us come for the fourth question, that is the last question of group B. What is the distance in centimeter traveled by the electron when it jumps from L cell to N cell? गोटे इलेक्ट्रॉन N cell रू L cell को जंप कले सी केते डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल करिवो. According to the radius of the orbit, we know that Rn is equal to 0.529 into n square angstrom. The distance traveled by the electron when it jumps from L cell to N cell is R4 minus R2. L cell थिला बेले radius थिला R2, N cell को जिबा परे radius थिला R4. So distance traveled by the electron is R4 minus R2. Putting the value of n in the formula 0.529 into n square, the distance traveled can be calculated to 6.348 angstrom. As the question is asked in centimeter, so 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the minus 8 centimeter. So the answer is 6.348 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter. Let us welcome to all of you to the group C, which is the semi-descriptive question pattern containing 3 marks each. Here 2 questions to be answered out of 4. Each questions require not more than 6 minutes to write the answer. এইଭଳି ସମୁଦାୟ 6 ମାର୍କ ପାଇଁ ଏହି ଗ୍ରୁପଟିକୁ ଆମକୁ 12 ମିନିଟ୍ ଭିତରେ ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Let us come for the first question of group C. Describe the gold foil experiment in conclusion made by Rutherford, or briefly describe Rutherford's atomic model. Rutherford's atomic model. After the failure of J.J. Thomson's atomic model, Rutherford performed his alpha-ray scattering experiment on very thin gold foil. We have to draw this diagram. A diagram हमको कौन observation देवुचे? Let us know the observations. Observation 1. Most of the alpha rays pass through the gold foil without any deviation. Few alpha rays pass through the gold foil with a deviation by some angle, and very few, 1 in 10,000, come back in their own path. They deviated with an angle 180 degree. What are the different conclusions observed from these observations? Conclusions. An atom consists of 2 parts, such as nucleus and extranuclear part. The extremely small positive part at the center of the atom is called the nucleus. The entire mass of the atom is concentrated at the nucleus, and the electrons are revolved around the nucleus in extranuclear part, like the planets revolve around the sun. The force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron is balanced with the centrifugal force produced due to the rotation of the electron. Let us come for the second question of group C. Explain the Pauli's exclusion principle. What is Pauli's exclusion principle? Statement. 2 electrons of an atom can't have all the 4 quantum numbers exactly same. Explanation. Let us consider 2 electrons for first orbit, that is K cell. The 2 electrons in first orbit, the first electron is quantum numbers, principal quantum number 1, azimuthal quantum number 0, magnetic quantum number 0, and spin quantum number plus half. If the first electron has spin quantum number plus half, the second electron in this orbit must have the spin quantum value minus half. Thus, comparing the different quantum number values, principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, and magnetic quantum remain same in both the case, while the spin quantum number differ in each case. From the table, we conclude that if 3 quantum numbers of 2 electrons are same, then the 4th quantum number must be different. An orbital has maximum 2 electrons. 2 electrons of an orbital must have opposite spin. If one is plus half spin, then the other must have minus half spin. Now come for the third question of group C. What is the energy absorbed or evolved by the electron when it jumps from K cell to N cell? गोटे इलेक्ट्रॉन K cell to N cell को जंप कले केते अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब बा इवॉल्व हबो? Solution. The change in energy of the electron when it jumps from K cell to N cell, the energy changing is E4 minus E1. कारण K ru N cell को गला EF minus EI. Here the EF is E4 and EI is E1. So E4 minus E1, we know that En is equal to minus 313.6 by N square kilocalorie per mole. So putting the value of N, the energy changing calculated to be 294 kilocalorie. Thus the electron absorbs 294 kilocalorie amount of energy when it jumps from K to N cell. Let us come for the fourth question of group C. Who is the discoverer of anode rays? Write down the characteristics of the anode rays. Anode ray को के discover करिथिले आउ तार characteristics सब कोन? Anode ray discover किथिले ना E. Goldstein is the discoverer of anode rays. Characteristics of anode rays: they move in straight line, they carry positive charge, they affect the photographic plate, they have penetrating effect, They can pass through thin aluminum foil. These rays are positively charged and are deflected by the electric field as well as the magnetic field. Welcome to all of you to the group D. There is the descriptive section. Here one question is to be answered out of two. Each question requires not more than 12.5 minutes to write the answer. ଏଭଳି 5 ମାର୍କ ପାଇଁ এই ଗ୍ରୁପଟିକୁ ଆମକୁ 12.5 ମିନିଟ୍ ଭିତରେ ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Let us come for the first question. Write down the different postulates of Bohr's atomic model. The main postulates of Bohr's atomic model are: an atom consists of two parts, such as nucleus and the extranuclear part. The nucleus is positively charged and is present at the center of the atom. The electrons are revolving in the extranuclear part in definite circular path called the orbits. Each orbit is associated with a definite amount of energy with the formula En is equal to minus 313.6 n square kilocalorie per mole, or En is equal to minus 1312 by n square kilojoule per mole, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. As long as an electron revolves in an orbit, it does not emit or absorb energy. ଯେତେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ବିଟ୍ରେ ବୁଲୁଥିବ ସେ ଏନର୍ଜି ଆବଜର୍ବ ବା ଇଭଲ୍ଭ କରିବ ନାହିଁ. So the orbits are called stationary orbit or stationary states. The energy emitted or absorbed when electron jumps from one orbit to another. The amount of energy emitted or absorbed is given by the equation delta E is equal to Ef minus Ei, where Ei is the energy of the electron in the initial orbit and Ef is the energy of the electron in final orbit. The electron absorbs or emits energy at least one photon or a whole number multiple of it. That is delta E is equal to n into h nu, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and h nu is the energy of the photon. According to Bohr's atomic model, the radius of nth orbit is Rn is equal to 0.529 n square angstrom. The angular momentum of an electron revolving in a stationary orbit must be an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. The electron rotation is permitted in this type of orbits only. Angular momentum mvr is equal to n into h by 2 pi, where m is the mass of the electron, v is the velocity of the electron, r is the radius of the orbit, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. H is the Planck's constant. Let us come for the second question of group D. This is the last question. What do we mean by quantum numbers? What are the different kinds? Describe about the magnetic quantum numbers. Quantum number, the constants which are used to give the complete address of an electron in an atom to locate the position of an electron in an atom are called quantum numbers. There are four different types of quantum numbers, such as principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. As per the question, it is asked to describe about the magnetic quantum numbers. It was proposed by Lende. The constant which are used to locate the position of electron in an orbital or degenerated orbital are called magnetic quantum numbers. It is denoted as m. The values of m ranges from minus L to plus L through 0. For S sub cell, L is equal to 0. M is also equal to 0. Hence, it is only one orbital. For P sub cell, L is equal to 1. So, M is equal to minus 1, 0 and 1. Hence, it is 3 orbitals, that is Px, Py and Pz. For D sub cell, L is equal to 2. So, M is equal to minus 2 to plus 2 through 0. That is minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. Hence, it is 5 orbitals, that is dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square. For F sub cell, L is equal to 3. So, M is equal to minus 3 to plus 3 through 0. That is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Hence, it is 7 orbitals. That is Fx cube, Fyq, Fzq, Fxyz, Fx into y square minus z square, Fy z square minus x square, Fz into x square minus y square. Hence, the number of orbitals in a subcell is equal to 12 plus 1. Maximum number of degenerate orbitals in a cell is equal to n square. Thanks for watching Gopal Sir's Career Point. Please like and share this video.